In this video, I'm going to tell you about 5 businesses that I've founded and the lessons I learned from them so I won't do it again. Hopefully it's going to help you so that you can be super successful in entrepreneurship. We're going to do this video in 3 parts. Number 1, I'm going to tell you the businesses I've got right now so that you know this video is coming from experience over theory. The second part of the video, I'm going to break down 5 big boo-boos that I've made in business decisions. Businesses that really failed and didn't make us any money and actually cost us a lot of money. What are they? They're coming up soon. And then at the end, a conclusion of what I've learned from them so you avoid those potholes. Potholes are the things that can really take entrepreneurs out of the game. I want this video to be like the sat-nav for your journey. You're driving your entrepreneurial car. You don't know whether to turn right or left, what decisions to make. You don't want to go through those potholes. But if my video, the sat-nav of entrepreneurship, can avoid those decisions for you so you make the right directions, well, then I've achieved everything I've wanted to achieve. So let's look at part 1. What are the businesses that I've built and got today? Well, they are a process of the failures that I made as a younger entrepreneur. Right now, I've got around 1,200 staff. I've got a lot of full-time staff and a lot of part-time staff, and I've learned how to manage them. But actually choosing the right businesses makes managing staff a lot easier. Lots of people are frustrated by their staff because they've got business models that are just a few years away from failure. Most businesses fail, and I don't want that for you. So choosing the right businesses with the right models are the fastest ways to commercial profitability. I've got location-based businesses. I've got hotels, visitor attractions, day nurseries, coffee shops, ice cream parlors. I manufacture ice cream. I import and manufacture loads of products from around the world and sell them wholesale and direct to consumer. I've got a lot of e-commerce businesses and a lot of B2B businesses and direct to consumer businesses. I've bought so many companies, but I've bought some companies that weren't that a greater decision. And as the years have gone on, I've made much better buying decisions because of the stuff that I've learned. So let's look at those 5 failures now. Now, the first business that I really failed in was a stretch limousine company. And here's the thing, I actually had a successful family entertainment center business. I was 22, things were going really well, and I just thought, I can't make no mistakes. I am a superhero, a god of entrepreneurship. Whatever I touch will turn to gold. Well, not so with this stretch limousine company. Here's the things I learned about that business. To run that business, I need specialist staff, people that could drive really long vehicles. And if I wanted to expand the business, I needed loads more capital. Buying stretch limousines is not a cheap day out. Everything was Friday and Saturday nights. No one really wanted a stretch limousine on a Tuesday afternoon. People just wanted it for special occasions, for prom nights, weddings, and big nights out. That was a problem. That was a problem because it was very hard to get customers to repeat with you. So you would do all of the work to get a customer and they wouldn't need you until another special occasion come along. What I learned from that, it's very easy for your customers to forget about you. Yes, you can do all the marketing to remind people to come back and spend money with you, but it's so much easier to put that marketing efforts when people do need to come and spend money with you much more regularly. And we'll come to that later on in the video. So my first big boo-boo was that stretch limousine company. Specialist staff, no. Customers don't need you all the time. No. Loads of capital to keep expanding the business. And also the regulations were also changing with the local government in terms of where you stored these limos, how you needed them tested, who could drive them, where they could they go into certain cities. It's real disasters. So that wasn't a great business. Let's look at number 2. My second biggest failure was physical party shops and also an online party shop. I put them both together here. I own a shop called Partyman Superstore. I'll put some photos over the screen right now. I had 2 shops actually, one in a shopping center and one next door to one of my locations. Massively high overheads. You've got business rates, you've got lease costs, you've got to staff the thing all the time. Again, like the stretch limousine company, people didn't need you every single week to buy party stuff. People only needed you once or twice a year. So building up rapport with customers was very, very difficult. And you start from zero each month, very much like the stretch limousine company. You know, I don't know, if you're a Netflix of the world and you do all that work and marketing to get a customer and they keep buying from you each and every single month, it means you're not starting from zero each month. When you've got a party shop, you're starting from zero each month. So the compounding effects of business rates, of having high rents and massive staffing costs, and actually low average order value. People would come in and they would buy 15 to 20 pounds worth of stuff. So you would get 10 customers in, they would only spend £200. Like, oh my God, come on, help me out here, guys. I've got all these overheads. Very, very difficult. It's a non-essential service. The reason I did open that was I own a chain of indoor play centres called Partyman World. I had an entertainment agency called the Partyman Company. So we had kids entertainers going out. So from the outside, it looked like it was a business that folded into our ecosystem so beautifully, but it was very, very difficult to get those customers passed over. And do you know what? This was like 2007, 2008, 2009. My knowledge of email marketing and doing cookies and following people around the internet and reminding them to come back to you wasn't so prevalent then and as easy as it is now. Although that is available now, but also highly competitive, and Facebook and Meta and following people around the internet is so much more expensive than it was 5, 7, 10 years ago. But this was nearly 18 years ago. So unfortunately I had to close the 2 party shops, and we started putting it online and created Partyman Superstore online. But I didn't have the knowledge of PPC. I didn't have the knowledge, pay-per-click by the way, and selling stuff on the internet. It was a bit of a wild west back then, and I was more of a physical leisure operator. And so it was difficult. It was difficult for me to make money, and I ended up holding so much stock, and all my profit was left in stock. And it was commoditized. It was commoditized. Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Asda, they were selling all the stuff the same as me, and Amazon and eBay were on the rise, and there was people selling the exact same stuff. I didn't have my own unique products. Now fast forward to today, I do have another online party shop called Party Pieces, which was an established business for 30 years, and we sell a lot of personalized and own brand product that you can't buy anywhere else, giving us a competitive edge. The biggest thing I've learned about retail shops or selling on the internet, if you're selling other people's stuff, you're in a commodity, you're a competitive market, and you need to sell massive volume to make any money. Usually in these types of businesses, you're just professionally moving money around. And who wants to be in the business of professionally moving money around? You actually want to make some money, don't you? Right, let's look at number 3. Number 3 is ice cream vans, and actually selling food and drink at events, direct to consumer. Maybe you've got a cake stall selling cakes at a market, for example. These businesses are very low barrier to entry. People can see you doing very well and they go, cool, I'll just sell some ice cream, I'll just sell some cakes, and hey presto, you've now got mass competition. And so what I don't like seeing is these low barrier to entry businesses. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, think as high barrier to entry as you can, because it puts the moats around your business. And often these businesses have no contracts. You know, if you're an ice cream van man and you're going around the street selling ice cream, or you're going to food events selling ice cream, someone can just undercut you and you built up this customer base, and then you're fighting for margin, or someone could just steal the business from you, or someone sees you doing very well and they say, we'll bring this in-house and do it ourselves. And so I don't like those businesses, because I think you're always trying to chase the next customer, always trying to chase the turnover and find new locations. It's very hard to build establishment. What I learned from having my ice cream vans was it's much better to own shops with locations, because no one can take that location from you, and you can build up regularity. People know you're always there. People trust locations more. Yes, you have the overheads. Of course you have more overheads, but when you want to sell your business, if you've got a really profitable shop in a location with a lease or with a freehold, that's going to harness much more value than say 3 or 4 ice cream vans that are based on, well, this is what we've done in the last 3, 4, 5 years. If you do the same effort as us, if you put your heart and soul into it, you should achieve the same. Much harder to predict there with multi-locations, going to markets, going to events, going to festivals, over a location with a lease and your customers coming to you. You've got to goad your customers in that situation, and that's not for me. Number 4 was my bouncy castle and events business. My God, this was hard work. Let me give you some context. I had a children's entertainment agency. Yes, that was a business swapping time for money. We're one of the biggest children's entertainment agencies in the United Kingdom. It was an amazing first business for me. As a 16-year-old, I built this business and I thought, wow, I've got customers that really love us. I was one of the entertainers. People thought a lot of us, and we thought, well, what else can we sell them? So the next stage was to buy in props, do decorating, buy in bouncy castles, and hire that stuff out. And you know what? It went like gangbusters. Very quickly, it was turning hundreds of thousands of pounds. But again, like I mentioned earlier, really when I look back, I was just professionally moving money around. It was very low barrier to entry as well. You could buy a bouncy castle for £1,000 and hey presto, you're in competition with me. Now we did have the bigger stuff, the big event stuff, but actually what I realised when I stopped running that business, I found it very difficult to sell it. No one really wanted to buy the equipment off of me, and if they did, they were giving me fire sale value, which I ended up having to do. It's a difficult business. There's no sale value. The weather affected your trade so much. That was one of the worst things about it. You'd plan all these events, you'd hire out all this equipment, and if it rained, all your customers would cancel. What a disaster. No one wants that in business. You do not want to be in a business where the weather dictates if you're going to have good income or not. There was no repeat customers. How often does someone want a bouncy castle? Once or twice a year if you're lucky, or maybe even once every 3 years. So no repeat customers, weather dictating whether you would do really well or not. If we had a really good summer, brilliant, you'd make loads of money. If it rained all summer, you would lose so much of your income, and incredibly low barrier to entry. So not great business. Number 5 is festivals. So I ran a big children's festival called Kids Fest. On the face of it, it was an amazing business. It sold out. I sold all my tickets out. I was at full capacity. And my customer avatar was families from 0 to 7 or 0 to 10. And families have a lot less money than teenagers. And that is the truth. A teenager would go to an event like Glastonbury, or a 22-year-old would go to an event like Glastonbury. They would have to buy 1 ticket for themselves. A family might be a family of 5. So mum or dad has to buy 5 tickets. And so you're pressed on price. And we launched the event and we had some of the biggest characters in TV for kids, and there's massive costs and infrastructure costs. So we turned loads of money, but I lost around £60,000 by putting on an event that brought in hundreds of thousands of revenue. Got rave reviews, people absolutely loved it. I ran it for 3 years, and then in the end I just went, we're professionally moving money around here and actually losing money. It was very difficult for me because I had something where people absolutely loved. It got rave reviews, it sold out, but I just felt like it would take me years and years and years to actually charge the money I needed to charge to make it work. I needed to charge like £110 a ticket to make some money, but actually in reality I was selling it for £25 a ticket, and that was a lot of money. Families having to dish out £125 for a day out back in 2013, 14, 15. I really struggled to get people to pay more. So there we go, gang. Children's festivals, or any festivals, these one-off events are incredibly difficult because people like going to events, they like days out, but you can't build rapport and recommendations if you're only there once a year. So now let's look at concluding this video. What's the things that I've learned, and what's much better traits of businesses that actually are profitable? Well, I've been adding a sprinkle of salt and pepper in terms of ideas what you should avoid as I went through those 5 businesses. Well, really you want sticky customers, and customers that trade with you 4 times in quick succession. Those 5 examples didn't have that, and that's the biggest problem. If you're a supermarket, people buy from you on Monday and they might go 2 or 3 times that week for those things they've forgotten, that odd pint of milk or that emergency loaf of bread or the dog food, whatever it is, you're going back to that business time and time again. If you can get that into your business, you're become part of people's habit. You'll become part of their weekly or daily life. It's what Netflix, Sky TV, insurance and banks have so predominantly with their customers. People interact with the services so regularly that it becomes like making a cup of tea. You need to be people's cup of tea. They know how to make a cup of tea. No one's going, oh, how do I make a cup of tea? Well, how can you have that in your business? You want customers that transact with you 4 times in quick succession once they first start using you. That's why I love my day nursery business. People come on a Monday, they see this again on a Tuesday, then on a Wednesday, then on a Thursday. We're building up rapport because you need to transact with us so often. What I don't like about our leisure businesses, people only use us once or twice a year. I think businesses that have love, want and need as well are always such more valuable businesses where people love what you do, they want what you do, but they also need what you do. I always reference the iPhone as being a great example of that. People love their iPhone, want their iPhone, need their iPhone. Food, the reason I bought Rossi Ice Cream Manufacturing, the factory that makes ice cream, is because people love food, they want food, they need food. So I'm trying to sprinkle in love, want and need businesses, and businesses where our customers want to transact with us much, much more regularly. That's why I love my B2B businesses now. We've got a children's arts and crafts business and a teddy bear making business. Yes, our direct to consumer businesses might only buy once every now and then, but our wholesale businesses that are selling on to direct to consumer, whether that be a holiday park, a zoo or a visitor attraction, they are buying from us every single week. So they are building rapport with our team. They know our delivery staff. They know their sales rep. Any business where you're forced to have a relationship with your customer, in my mind, will always be a business that's more successful long term. I mean, the rates of failure in business is absolutely horrific. Most businesses do fail. Only half of them make it past 2 years old, and the statistics say that only 5% make it to their 10-year anniversary. I do believe the ones that are in that top 5%, when you really study them, taking the unicorns aside, there is always going to be some unicorns. There will be some theme parks like Disney World that are going to be around forever, but they are a unicorn because we know of them. But actually, we want to be the rule rather than the exception when it comes to super success in entrepreneurship. Find those businesses where you build relationships with your customers. I mean, it's always like the wedding venue. That's a classic one. People get married in their wedding venue and it's the happiest day of their life, but they never need you again. That to me is painful for that business that does an amazing service, really looks after their customers, but they literally don't need you again. And if they do need you again, that's bad news because they're going through a divorce and they're going to their new partner. Do you want to get married where I got married before? That ain't never going to happen. If you like this video and you want to learn some more stuff from me, why not come along to Business Masterclass? I'm running a big event in London. I do it every single year. And this is an amazing place where entrepreneurs come together to learn all the best tactics to search for profitability, to search for establishment, to be super successful. So if you want to find out how to get customers as frugally as possible, how to buy companies, property investment, and growing and scaling profitable businesses, Business Masterclass is for you. Tickets are only a few £100. I think they're extremely good value for money. It's a brilliant investment into your brain to make your business better. Because remember this, gang, the harder you work on yourself, the better the results for your business will be. Work on yourself, gang. Feed the brain with all the good stuff and you'll have a more successful business. I'll see you at Business Masterclass to grow your business. You can buy your tickets on my website, jamessinclair.net, or there's a link in the video description. See you there.